Uh, I just made a video, but I thought I'd make another video because I was just up there in my last video. I was just rambling. I was sitting in my main study just sharing stuff off the top of my head. But I haven't, I have books here that I recently bought at thrift stores that I thought I'd share. And today is, like I said, today is the 8th of February. It's 2016. It is going on 3 o'clock. You can see the clock up there. That's a bird clock. When it hits the hour time, you hear one of those birds. At 3 o'clock, you'll hear a cardinal. That clock used to belong to my mother-in-law. When she died, I inherited it. So every time I look at that wall clock with those birds, I think of Carol's mother. She was a really nice woman. She died a couple of years ago. She died when Carol and I and the kids were out in New Mexico, and we knew she was going to die, Carol's mother, but I wanted the clock because I remember Mom always had that clock by her. So now every time I look at that clock, I think of Carol's mother. Anyway, I got this book, Alberto Eco. This is The Mysterious Flame of Queen Lona. I got that. I got this little book on existentialism. It's looking at the philosophy, Existentialism by Thomas Flynn. And I found this book, looked kind of interesting. Fantasies of the Master Race, Literature, Cinema, and the Colonization of American Indians by Ward Churchill. I got that. I collect books on American Indians. So this has been reprinted by City Lights Books, I found out. This is a little book on Bach, his music. It's basically analysis of his music and his life, Bach. And this is Rudyard Kipling, his stories, Traffics and Discoveries, stories. Got that. And I got this novel, All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This won the Pulitzer Prize. Last year I read his little memoir, 4 Seasons in Rome, on twins, insomnia, and the biggest funeral in the history of the world by Anthony Doerr. He wrote this memoir. They moved to Rome and they spent a year there, and he talks about Rome and what he experienced, and they just had twins, his wife and him, and he was on a, so I got that, I read that. I also have this book by Anthony Doerr about grace by him, Anthony Doerr. I haven't read it, but I put it in the stack. I found this book at the Book Nook. Andrew, this is called The Story of a Marriage, a novel by Anthony Sheen Greer. I have this book by Anthony Greer in my library, The Confessions of Max Tovoli by Andrew Shear Greer. I haven't read these, but they go in the stack. I found a little book by Mark Twain, Roughing It in the Sandwich Islands, Hawaii in the 1860s by Mark Twain or Samuel Clemens. So I got that. And that's what I found lately. I didn't mention to you these books. last year I read this very interesting, this is a autobiography by Sean I can't pronounce that. Disco, Forbidden Territory and the Realms of Strife. And I read this by him too. No, that's not it. I read these books by him. Landscapes of War, Sabrio and Tuchigna by Juan Gordisco, and the Virtues of a Solitary Bird by Juan, it's a Goytisol. I don't know, I wish I could pronounce things, but anyway, I read those last year by him. I really enjoyed reading this. I read the first one, The Forbidden Territory, and I haven't got into the Realms of Strife, which is the next one. But I plan to read it. That's why it's here on my table here. And of course, you know, I'm always reading the Bible. You know, I got my Bible here. And so, yeah, those are the books I've gotten lately. Don't know what else to mention. So that's it. I was going to talk about big books, but I didn't collect them. But these are the books I got lately, and what I've been reading, and you know, I mentioned that earlier. I'm reading Infinite Jest and reading the Bible, and you know, I got these books all stacked up here. Oh, here's a bird. Hear it? That was a cardinal. So yeah, not much else to report. Like I said, it's 3 o'clock and I shut down and I go into the evening hours, and I stopped watching TV because I realized I got so many books to read, and why waste all that energy reading those books? I mean, watching TV when I could be reading my books, which I find more enjoyable than watching TV. So yeah. So my wife usually calls about 8 o'clock at night. She'll be home Friday. What I should do is put some clothes on and go up and get some food. But, you know, I'm not really into food. I don't know. So, till next time, bye.